I'd first of all like to say that I made this myself. So anybody can Photoshop.
Yeah, don't get all high and mighty on that. You were attempting it on Paint last night, so
Well, yeah, and then I had to take drastic measures. So, but yeah, so spilled my
actually
beer.
looks
As you
really
as you
good.
can notice, my beer is down to here already because we had like a, when like the floor director in a TV set is like going like 10, 9, you're live in 8, and then like your tie falls off, or a cat comes and poops on your desk or something. That's like what happened for me. It was there still might be beer in my keyboard right now.
Cat pooping on cats on the set of a TV show.
Well, I don't know, but
So does that mean I have to crack my beer then? That means I have to do it right. Right. Oh yeah.
there it is.
Oh,
So,
was that good for you?
ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce you all to episode 1 of Games, Drinks, Opinions, a Terrible Gaming Bros podcast about stuff. And
About stuff.
what kind of stuff? Well, that's pretty open-ended because anyone who's ever had the privilege of hearing one of the Terrible Gaming Brothers rants or conversations, it can get a little off topic. It can get a little weird.
Get a little intense.
Intense. Yes. By the way, proof, paper towel. It's on standby because you never know what's going to happen. But yeah, so I guess Battle Flag, I want to ask you, what are you looking for in this podcast? What do you want to achieve with Games, Drinks, Opinions?
Full frontal nudity. And I
Okay.
expect no less.
Well, if that's the case, then Twitch, it's been nice knowing you. And
Rip mod.
yeah, YouTube, we will get banned from that as well. So yeah, anything else, sir?
I don't know. There's a lot of I think there's lots of things that we could talk about. Lots of game stuff that you and I both like, and we've got similar interests. Otherwise, whether we
Right.
put the people through a few.
We put the
sports
people
references.
through the sport. Sorry, how long? 2 minutes, and we got a Bill Cosby reference. Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Lots of that. Lots of that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I think you get some good back and forth kind of about whether it's tournament things, game things, things that are going on, and other things.
Mm-hmm. And you know what? It's funny. I just noticed our first mistake is I looked down at the YouTube logo and I didn't crop out the corners for some reason. So there's little white corners on the YouTube logo. Damn it. So close to being a success.
So close, yet so very far away.
Yes.
But you know what? You make up for it for finding that expletive 8-bit chat bubble.
I know. I typed in.
Given.
I think I typed in 8-bit chat bubble, literally, or text bubble or something, and then the first thing that popped up was create your own 8-bit chat bubble. So
My vote was still for the other one.
Yeah,
So
the explicit
last
one,
night,
yeah.
as we're looking to break the fourth wall a bit here, as we were looking to sort of put things on the overlay, I suggested, well, maybe have little 8-bit,
Yeah.
like a game cartridge or a disc, and then a beer, and then somebody fake swearing, or so we thought maybe we'll put Qbert because Qbert's known for swearing in his games.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really do that, but so then when we typed in the word 8-bit swearing in Google Images,
That's when magic happened.
the first thing that came up was an 8-bit chat bubble that had fuck, cunt, shit, and piss,
Yeah.
but all the vowels were bleeped out.
And
That was where my vote went.
part of me still wants to use that, and maybe one day we will, but I don't know. I typed in random things that made it look like, although the dollar sign and the and sign look very similar in the 8-bit graphical
I think you get the idea.
language, but yeah. So
I'm looking at. I'm actually just kind of looking at the overlay like in big for the first time now. And it looked really good.
Right.
So. Good job, brother.
I know, right? But
What's your vision for this little shindiggy scenario podcasty thing?
I mean, I've got 2 major hopes for this podcast. First of all is copious amounts of money, and the other one is at least 3 women. Not at the same time. It could be at the same time, but I'd
That's
rather.
where the full frontal nudity comes in.
Well, sure, but famous enough so that I'm walking down the street, and at least three women walk up to me and get a little moist.
Say,
Oh my God,
wow.
you're that guy, and I'll be like, yep, I'm Colin Farrell.
You're that gassy Mexican guy, aren't you?
Wow, yeah. That's but no, actually, I think what I would like to see is this podcast just kind of turns into a place that people can come hang out and hear us try and attempt to be educated about certain topics or subjects. But
Try being the
I mean,
operative word.
this isn't. It's not a news podcast. It's not a religious podcast. It's not a political podcast. It might turn out to be that one day. Maybe we'll sell out to Fox News and Mitt Romney 2018. Heard he's running again.
If I could vote for Mitt Romney, I wouldn't.
I still wouldn't. You could put a chicken with a blue hat on, and I'd vote for that. No. But yeah, just a place that people can come and hang out, and again, it'll be on YouTube as well, and people can click on that. We'll probably split the podcast up into 4 equal distance parts, and by equal distance, I mean equidistance. Actually, is the correct term.
Equidistant.
Equidistance.
See, this is going to be the
don't
problem.
know.
Is you can't pronounce words, and
I can't even hang on to a beer.
I used to be an English teacher. So
Like
this is
literally,
not gonna go well.
Stone Cold Stober, Phone Cold Flober, and I can't even hang on to my beer. So don't worry, ladies and gentlemen, that's a speech impediment. That is not alcohol.
That's what we'll go with.
But I want to start things off with a gaming topic, and 2014. I think I bought more games than I played in 2014. That was kind of,
13
and yeah, and 12 and 11 and 10, and then just look at my Steam catalog. Yep. But there's been a lot of talks about Game of the Year for 2014, and what people's Game of the Year is, what websites' Game of the Year is, blah 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 blah. Nobody cares because Company Z got paid out by Company D to pick Game Q for Game of the Year. Whatever.
What? That doesn't happen. You're telling me the Oscars are fixed? Come on.
So, yeah. I want to know from you, not what your game of the year is for 2014, but for you, what the best game you played in 2014 was. And I think I know the answer, but what game that you played in 2014 did you enjoy the most?
Ooh, I don't know. That's an interesting one. I mean, I don't play anywhere near the amount of games that you do, and a lot of times I will buy it and play it later, or like I won't. A lot of my Steam stuff is stuff like, oh yeah, this game came out 3 years ago,
Right.
and I'll buy it because I wanted to play it for 3 years. That's tough because we both bought Wii U's this year, and Wii U had a really good year.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else, I mean, I don't have a PS4, so I don't have that side of things.
Who doesn't own a PS4, bro?
Right here, this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So not until No Man's Sky comes out.
Yep.
Well, I think that'll probably be the one.
Maybe it'll come out now. But let's be real. You're not going to buy a PS4 until I buy No Man's Sky. You come over and play it, and then go, "Yep, this is a game for me."
No, I will probably buy it for when No Man's Sky comes out because I would. The only game I really would play on it now would be the show, MLB,
Right.
because that's fun. But
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe Little Big Planet because I do like the Little Big Planet games.
Yep.
But I think probably if I'm throwing it between, I would have to choose between 2 games that I played probably the most. One of them would be Mario Kart.
Right.
Because holy mother loving crap, that game is amazing
Mm-hmm.
and is just an improvement or the best of everything that every Mario Kart game is.
Right.
That or the only game I actually finished on stream last year, which was South Park. Stick of
Right.
Truth.
That was the one I was thinking you were gonna say.
Yeah, and that one was I probably I you and I both played RPGs growing up, kind of since
Hmm.
since this game, which I bought for Grover today at a Cash Converters thrift shop.
Yay.
Right, because he didn't have a copy. That's Final Fantasy 3 for anybody that can't see it.
Or Final Fantasy 6 for
Slash
the
Final Fantasy 6,
actual people of the world. Yes.
which actually is probably the game I'm going to play. I'm going to keep playing this weekend.
Right.
However, we played RPGs when we were little, and there has been a really lack of good kind of traditional RPGs in really a long time. Like I don't even know the last one I played that was really good. Maybe Eternal Sonata, which was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, that one was like, it was basically a 10 to 12 hour playable episode of South Park that was actually funny and actually had like anybody that watched me stream it was like, they could tell because I was just laughing like a shit-eating idiot the whole time.
Right.
Like, it was a lot of fun.
Mhm.
So probably one of those two. if I
Interesting.
was to say.
Huh.
Yourself now again, you, like I said, you played a lot more than I did.
Yeah.
Um,
See, I don't know. Like for me, 2014 was for me the year of PlayStation 4 because I bought a PlayStation 4 in release whenever November I guess it was, and I had a few games at release, but I didn't really get to play a lot of them. I mean, I used to say Netflix was my most played game on PS4, but I think for me, it's a 2013 game, and it's one of the best video games of the last however many years was, which I streamed it as well, was The Last of Us. And
right.
yeah, I think Mario Kart is obviously, I would probably say, what's the game that I'm going to continue playing, and I think right now for me that's Mario Kart. But I don't know, just the story behind The Last of Us and the connection that you felt with the characters. I haven't felt that in a video game. Going all emotional, but it's been a long time since I've felt emotional attachment to characters, and I think probably for me the last time I felt that in a game was Final Fantasy IX, which was
Phoebe.
yeah, exactly. But and that's just me personally, and
Yeah.
I mean I was a teenager obviously, or maybe a young teenager, I don't know, but.
Yeah.
The Last of Us is the kind of game that I would probably pick up and play again once a year, and just for the playthrough aspect, the sheer enjoyment of the game, and maybe next time, okay, let's see if I can beat it in a little bit of a shorter time. But yeah, I would say the favorite game I played was The Last of Us. Granted, I was a little late to the party with it. Excuse me, but I waited until it came out on PS4 and then waited for it to go on
And
sale.
I watched you stream most of that. I missed a few bits and pieces of it.
Yeah.
But that was, yeah, it definitely. I don't- like there was a lot of things about it that reminded me of things that video games don't usually touch on, and that people don't even, and I probably don't even know if you know this or you have read it, but it touches on a lot of things like the book The Road by Cormac McCarthy.
Right.
With the idea of not just like a post-apocalyptic world, but in a world. It's
In a world where zombies ate your neighbor.
yeah, and it's not a zombie book, but it's a book
Right.
about pretty much the dying days of humanity, and the whole idea is that this father and his son are traveling down this road which they think will lead
the rabbit
to
hole.
something.
Yeah.
And they have no idea whether or not it even will, and they're trying to avoid other people who will
Right.
scavenge from them, or like it was. And you don't often see that in games. They a lot of times will. They're not story heavy.
Right.
Because
And
apparently story is a bad word in video games these
Yeah.
days. But
and see, that leads me actually into another great topic is most anticipated game for 2015, and for me, it's not necessarily a 2015 game yet, to be determined. I've had this game on pre-order since E3 2013,
I know what you're gonna say.
and that is The Division. And truth be told, when I saw The Division's E3 trailer playthrough demo, that was the reason that I bought a next gen console,
Right.
was for that game. And I mean, now they've announced that it's coming out on PC and this and that, but for me, what drew me to that game so much was exactly what you just mentioned, was that it's not post-apocalyptic, the zombies are taking over the world, or the world is at an end already, but you're in New York City while the world is dying because of whatever the virus is that they have, and you are a team of immune people that are basically hired by the government or by whoever it is to try and save the world, essentially. So, and I mean, I've talked about this game a lot with you, but it's people are infected. So it's not people are already in zombie form, and they haven't even said if it's just. I think it's just a straight. It's an infection that people are dying. There's no zombie related to it, but the world population is depleting, and it's up to you and other characters to do something about it. And there haven't been a lot of games out there like that, and especially in a game like this where it's an open world MMO style third person, whether you call it an RPG shooter or, because there's still so many unknowns about this game, but that's what I'm most hyped about, and I've been hyped about this game since day one, and I hope to God it doesn't fail and it doesn't disappoint. If they need to
get delayed another year,
if they need to delay it until 2020, I'm fine with that if it just means that it's perfect, because I mean, I was hyped a lot for Watch Dogs when it came out, and I mean, I haven't given enough time into Watch Dogs to have an opinion about it yet. Let's just chalk that up to games that I bought and haven't played yet. So obviously, I kind of overhyped that a bit because I didn't even get around to playing it that much. I think I played it for maybe 2 hours or 3 hours or something.
but even a game that goes along with that same line for you, you could say would be Assassin's Creed.
Assassin's
You played
Creed.
through Assassin's Creed Unity.
Yeah, but see, that's Assassin's Creed Unity was a different deal because of the bugs that it came with, and
But
there's
that's kind of what I mean, though. Like, if you look at something like that, where, I mean, why, realistically, I mean, Assassin's Creed 4 wasn't that long ago. It was a PS4 launch title.
it was like fall 2013, I believe.
So, to have another, pardon me, to have another Assassin's Creed game come out so quickly and have so many bugs to it, why would you not, if you were a game developer, take that off for 3-4 months, get rid of all the bugs, and then you release it and go, hey, now it's a finished game, because you've already, like, it's not like we're short of Assassin's Creed games.
Yeah,
And I mean, they did that with BioShock Infinite, like last year, 2 years ago, where it was supposed to come out. They delayed it for 4 months, and I mean, that game, it came out as it did. It was utterly amazing.
right.
I mean, I understand that they're we got to make deadlines for this, but deadlines are one thing. Meeting a deadline and putting out a half-finished game is another thing.
Well, and I think that's kind of the biggest deal, is that deadlines are the number one priority for some companies. And I mean, Assassin's Creed, it's an Ubisoft game, and Ubisoft has kind of been getting shit on as of late with regards to bugs in games, issues in games, shitty games, and I think, to me, it's just they're not putting in a bunch of time post-production to make sure these games are as good as they need to be. But
to them, it won't make a difference on their profit. They feel like if they put it out late, they'll sell less.
And that's why the whole issue right now with pre-orders is going on, where don't pre-order games, because they're basically saying, oh, we already hit platinum in this game, fuck it, we'll just release it. And Assassin's Creed's a great example because the PC port was so bad and it had so many glitches and pissed a lot of people off. And I played it on PS4, and I mean, we've got a video on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/terriblegamingbros, and it was of me playing and falling through a random gap in the floor and into Nana land and dying. And that happened to a lot of people. But there was two issues that I saw in Assassin's Creed Unity. One was the floor glitching, and two was when you would walk around, characters would change outfits for some reason. Like it would be like a, I don't understand the whole programming coding behind it, but as when a person was this far away from you, their outfit would be this, and then they'd be further away, and then it would be a glitch where the outfit would change.
Yeah.
And that's a very minor glitch in my opinion, but the PC port had so many issues, and then they're releasing patches and patches and patches, and because of all the issues that Assassin's Creed Unity had, they ended up giving away the DLC for free. And if you had, which I mean, you know what? Good for them for doing that. That's a pretty big thing because it was probably a $40 DLC, and even if you'd pre-ordered the game already or the DLC already, then you got to buy one of their other games or take one of their other games for free, and they were AAA $70 titles. So,
but I mean, okay, yeah. Do you not? I mean, the thing that they're not going to learn, unfortunately, is that because they're such a huge company and did pre-sell all of these copies of it, they're not going to learn to say, oh, we had to give this away for free and this, but we still made all this money off of it. Whereas realistically, they would have made more money had they delayed it for 2 months, released an actual good game, and then put the DLC out for whatever price they were going to put it out for. Like, there's no forethought to it. Like, I mean, there's no idea that, okay, a game is going to come out and it's going to be judged for its merit or how much people like it and how much it sells, and that makes us successful.
Right.
That's no longer the case. And that's part of the reason why it's like the movies.
Yeah.
Like when you go to the movies these days, they're not looking to be in the theater for a month or get all these accolades and great reviews and everything. They'd like it, but if they can make their $150 million in the first weekend,
yeah,
they don't give a shit if it's any good.
Right. And a game that's a prime example of should you release it or should you delay it is The Witcher 3, where it was scheduled to come out in the fall-ish, like right around probably just before Christmas time. Okay. They delayed it to February. They said it's not going to be ready yet. We got some stuff to work through, and then it got delayed again. Now I believe it's middle of May. It's coming out, and I've got Witcher 3 pre-ordered. I'm looking forward to that game a lot, but I'm okay waiting for it. If that means you get a better game, and I think there's a lot of gray area in the fact that game companies feel pressure to get it out day one, and consumers feel the pressure that if I don't wait, or if I got to wait for your game, I'm going to get another game instead. And that has to die. That whole mentality has to go away because...
because I mean, the problem is all they're doing, who sets the deadlines? They set their own deadlines. So you know what? Reset a deadline. Or when you do have a game that is in the shape that's ready to go, then say, we're releasing it on this day. Like, there's nothing wrong with them saying, we are going... And they'll do this all the time with like games that will be coming out. We're looking to release it in summer or fall or winter of this year.
Right.
So if you just do that and say that, and then develop the game, and then if you push it back, whatever, but don't set a date to it.
Right.
Because then if you say winter 2015, and okay, well, the game, is ready to go and we're going to test it for bugs in July, if they've set a date for August 1st, well, we got to get it. We only have a month to test things. Well, maybe we'll just patch things up later. Well, no, don't set a date. Like, I know they have to do that for distribution and everything, but if you push back dates all the time, just
right. And I think the biggest thing that has caused a lot of these issues is the fact that almost every single game now is connected to the network somehow. So they think, okay, we'll just release patches to fix stuff. We'll release patches. I mean, it's like you think back to cartridge games where they're like I think what was it? The Dreamcast was maybe the first system to implement network connectivity. Maybe.
Uh, sure. We'll
Yeah.
go with
So,
that.
anyways, if you bought a Super Nintendo game and there was glitches in it or there was broken somehow, you dealt with it, and
Or you didn't play
or
because it's terrible.
or you didn't play it because it was terrible. But I think the problem is now, and what's there's a game coming out right away soon. I don't know if it's Dying Light or something like that, but there was an announcement that in some countries the physical copy of Dying Light is being pushed back a couple weeks, but the digital copy can still be purchased day one. And I don't understand that, because
That's
whether
weird.
whether it's a production issue or what it is, but with everything being digital now and this and that, it's, in my opinion, it's just that they think, okay, we can fix it if we need to. Let's get the game out and we'll fix it if we have to.